year?
No, Mr. Ard, not this year.
I'll wait till next time. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Ard. Microphone's open.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, Casey Lowry again. I live at 200 block of West Military Drive. Really, I would just like to address Mr. Baggett and Mr. Phillips as they effectively represent me here at this legislative body. Mr. Baggett, you addressed growth earlier, which is spot on. I've been I'm sure you noticed, emailing back and forth trying to get a censored stoplight put at Parkway and Military Drive. As coming off of 40 there, vehicles back up a long ways, and I've seen my own two eyes ambulances have to go against traffic to get by them, stop vehicles. I've contacted Mr. Chapman, the city engineer, about a signal warrant study. I'm not too familiar with how the whole process works, but he's been really helpful, and I don't know if the mayor chose him or what, but he's really awesome and been really helpful to me. Moving on to the next thing, burglaries. There's been 5 burglaries in Ward 3 since the beginning of August. I don't really know what I can do to help. I guess I'll just keep my powder dry and hope that they decrease. I know there's cities that are much worse, so I'm staying active and keeping my eye open. Drainage. There's been a drainage issue, rainwater running across the northeast of my property. It doesn't stand long, and I've been in touch with the city engineer about it as well, just on how to address that. I mean, you get huge amounts of water when we have downpours that come across my neighbor's property in huge amounts. Like I said, it doesn't stand long, but how do you fix that? I'm not quite sure without digging ditches or turning it somewhere else and where it might violate someone else's property, which I don't want to do. I've talked to my neighbors some, best I could, and Mr. Chapman, of course. He's been a great tool. And then finally, thank you very much for Burns Park. It's a really incredible park to go and run and enjoy and bike. I really love it. And also, as an OIF veteran myself, I really appreciate the Veterans Memorial. It's really awesome. So that's all I have to say. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Lowry. We appreciate your comments and thanks for being a part of our community. Microphone's open, Mr. Baxter.
Mayor, City Council, those of you watching at home and streaming video, I come before you today just to inform you that I filed my paperwork this morning for candidates for Ward 3. It's just a follow-up of the answer that I gave you when I asked back in January when I was applying for the appointment position that was vacated by Mr. Gaines. So I'm just letting you know that I'm following through with what I said I would do. And Mr. Phillips, look forward to a well-fought race.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Baxter.
Mayor, one question.
Okay, we got one other that signed up, but
Before that,
all right, go ahead.
is Mr. Marvin here tonight? I'd like to see him after the
I think
meeting.
he is. At least he was. Is Tim over there? No. No, that's right. But we'll get him. You and I can visit, and we'll figure out what your question is, and we'll get you an answer.
All right, we'll work on it.
Alderwoman Ross.
I just realized, I just wanted, Dark Holidays, it's September the 11th. I forgot that we won't have a meeting before then. I was thinking September, but September the 11th at 10 o'clock, the parade starts, Dark Hollow. And the Mid-City meeting, neighborhood group meeting is at 6:30 tomorrow at the Community Center on Pershing, and they would like to see everybody there.
Labor Day is coming up, so we're going to have a day off Monday, Labor Day. I believe it's the 4th of September, if I'm not mistaken. Ms. Whitby, is that correct? 6th of September, I'm sorry. I put us on a Saturday. With that, do I have a motion?
Alderman Witcher had...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, Steve Smith sitting across the way. I need him
All right.
to make an announcement.
Who? Oh, Chief Smith. Okay.
Chief Smith.
All right. With that, do I have a motion?
No, he wants him to make an
Oh,
announcement.
you got something.
We need him to say this.
Oh,
Okay.
So you want him before we over with?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I've got a filler while we're waiting on him.
All right.
I know this morning we had staff meeting, we talked briefly about some of the peddlers who were being a little more aggressive than usual. We have taken action to city council's taken action to cut back the hours during which people can go door to door with sales. They have to be licensed. That permit also, city council shortened that permit, so the constraints have been tightened down some. I think it's important for us to always remind people, they can tell people just to leave. You can either do that by putting up a sign that says, no solicitation, in which case if people are soliciting at your property, they're trespassing, or tell them, leave my property, I don't want to talk to you. You can do that, it's your property, and if they remain there, then they're trespassing. So if you ask somebody to leave and they won't leave, just close the door, call the police, let them know, and they can take appropriate action from there.
Yeah, I know, and I'll recognize Alderwoman Ross. I know Alderwoman Ross sent me an email, and I know we visited both with City Attorney and Chief Bradley this morning. And if there's someone that is trespassing on your property, the police will come. So, again, no solicitation by your doorbell or some place that clearly indicates that. Or if they come and they're anywhere abusive or you don't want them on your property, then simply indicate that, and if they don't leave, then call the police. With that, Chief Smith, I think Alderman
Chief
Witcher.
Smith, I did not ask you before, and I'm putting you on the spot, and I need you to help me with some information. Mac Bryce's and Officer Bryce's daughter will be participating in a fundraiser out of the Clinton Library. Do you recall the details on that? I can tell by the blank on your face.
I'm familiar with the event. I'm not sure. Walk for Life, I believe it's called.
Yes, there's a Walk for Life. Is it Allison?
Addison.
Addison, yeah,
Bryce.
Addison Bryce, the daughter of one of our firemen, and Mac Bryce's granddaughter will be participating, and she could use all the donors that she can pick up. So, thank you, Chief Smith.
Now, Alderman Witcher, are we ready for a motion?
So moved.
There's a second on the motion.
Ross?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Taylor? Yes. Robinson? Yes. Baggett?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
And Witcher?
Yes.
Thank you.